Hello, everybody. Welcome to Lynn and Scott in the Philippines. Hopefully, we got everything going here. Hopefully, we got everything going here. Everybody can hear me. I'm just trying out some new stuff here on the ZB Mux. And let me transition and see if this works. First, I want to trying to make sure I got volume and stuff. Everything's an ad these days. Anyway, I'm going to try. Lynn is still at church, so I'm winging it on my own. I could be scary. Give me just a minute here. I'm waiting for something to get done, and then I'm going to try and transition something onto this. I'm waiting for ads to get done so I can hear if this plays or not. Hope everybody's having a great day out there. My goodness, all the ads we get, you think we'd make some money.
Give it to me like.
Let me try this. Can I hear me? Can I hear me? Let me try this. Can I hear me? Can I hear me? Okay, I can hear me. I want to see if this works. Yeah.
Good morning. Lynn and Scott in the Philippines. Sabi dito sa John 3:16, sapagkat gayon na lamang ang pag-ibig ng Diyos sa sangkatauhan, kaya't ibinigay niya ang kanyang kaisa-isang anak upang ang sinumang sumasampalataya sa kanya ay hindi mapahamak kundi magkaroon ng buhay na walang hanggan. Isinugo ng Diyos, verse 17, ang kanyang anak upang hindi hatulan ng parusa ang salibutan, kundi upang iligtas ito sa pamamagitan niya. Glory to God.
Glory to God. Thank you, Lynn, for that video. Let me see what I can do here. Move that back. Click here to continue with library. As I said, this is using EV Mux. Looks good. Just want to make sure I'm hitting all the buttons right and everything. I don't know what the heck is going on, but somehow I got it started. Now I got to finish it. Maybe I put the glasses on. I can read what I'm doing. Okay. So how do I decide what version I'm staying on? You select which version to continue or stay on studio mode. Which version? Where do I get to that? I didn't work out. What the heck? Be careful. Continue what I want to get off studio mode. All right. Well, I hope everybody's having a great day, great night, wherever you are. There's some good wind today. Oh, sorry about that. We're getting some good wind today. It looks like, it sounds like anyway. Of course, we've been getting some rain here. Typhoon is north, way north of us, but we're getting the bottom half of, or not bottom half, maybe the bottom third or whatever. But we've been getting a lot of rain. Today we're getting a lot of wind, more so than rain, I believe. I can hear hear the trees whipping out there and stuff. So just still trying to figure out how do I get out of this version, yeah, or this mode. Oh, I see. Okay, it just stays there. Once I put it there, it looks like it just stays in this version, which is kind of hard for me, but yeah, I get it, I guess. Anyway, title of this is "What is one thing you have changed about yourself since coming to the Philippines?" I didn't want to make the title really, really long, but it's more about what have you changed about yourself since you come to the Philippines, and you're happy with your change. You're happy enough with it that you're gonna when you go back to your country, if you go back to your country at all, the change will follow you. You know, whatever you change, you're gonna stay the same when you go back home, wherever that is. There's a lot of changes I think that we need to make when we come here. A lot of first one off the top of my head is patience, right? Anybody that's been here, patience is a big deal. You got to have it here because everything moves at a slower pace here. Traffic is a little slower, but it's a little more congested. It's a little more dive bombing and everything like that. But yeah, so I mean, patience is one thing that comes off the top of my mind. I'm from the United States, so need to have good patience. I'm gonna make sure what I got going on here. But yeah, patience. The first thing that comes to my mind with a lot of stuff here. I mean, just anything in the stores. Um, in restaurants, everything. So, yeah, patience is a big, big deal when you first come here. You got to have it, right? Let me see if I can just testing things out on my own here and stuff. So, patience. The next thing probably is getting adjusted just to, as anybody that's been here a while would know, I haven't been here too long. I'm coming up on, let's see, June, July. I'm coming up, I think, on 16 months, 17 months. But electrical stuff that you bring with you from whatever country you come from. I know from the United States, anyways, we're 110 over there. Everything here is 220. You got to be ready for that. I don't know if I have one. Trying to see if I have an adapter that we use here. I guess I don't have one up here. But they have little adapters you can buy to change to help with that. Uh, I'm not an electrician, so I don't completely understand it. But you need to change your 110 to carry it at the 220 current, I guess. But the funny thing is, you go out and buy a phone charger, and it's a 110. So everything is two prong 110, right? And like I need to buy a new charging cord for my Chromebook. I guess I'll have to go online and buy that. So that's a change. I mean, is it too hard on you when you first got here with all the changes you kind of got to make? Is it simple? Is it easy? How do you feel about that? For me, so far, it hasn't been too bad where we live. And it's like probably any country you live in. It depends on where you live, what you're dealing with. If you're dealing with the big city, if you're dealing province life, we're kind of in the middle. We're living in a village, and we're kind of in the middle, I guess, from what Lynn tells me, uh, of province life and the big city and stuff. Transition of stuff is, me and Lynn have talked about as far as if you're dating a Filipino when you come over here, the hardest thing is the language, understanding each other, what she says, what he says. Miscommunication can cause a lot of problems when you're dating a Filipino. Just it's like any other country that doesn't speak fluent English. They speak English, but they don't speak it the way we do, so you can misinterpret what she says very easily, and that falls on our part. You have to have patience, which I stated at first. When you first get here, you got to have patience. You got to have patience to talk when you're talking to her, to understand what she might be trying to say, that she hasn't said it the way you understand things to be said. Uh, Transition of the current, like I said, you bring your electronics over here, it could burn them up sometimes because our from the United States we're at 110. Here it's all 220. So you need something to change your current. But like I said, it's funny. You go out and buy a new phone charger, and they're all 110 here. At least the ones I've seen. So I guess the phone chargers work on 220 and 110. Let's put it that way, more than likely. Um, what other changes? Food changes. What are you going to eat? In the States, you pretty much know what you're going to go down and buy and eat or whatever, munch on and stuff like that. Maybe for lunch, dinner, breakfast. And here they'll have what was left over for dinner for breakfast. And I know at least me, I was used to, breakfast is breakfast: eggs, sausage, bacon, hash brown, stuff like that. Um, and here it's what we have left over from last night. Sometimes we carry over just to breakfast. That's what we have for breakfast. Um, so there's uh, quite a few other changes that living condition wise can be a can be seem like at first and like I said, it depends on where you live and what kind of place you live in. If you're just staying in a condo, living condition wise could be a standard for where you came from. uh, where we live, it's a bit different. We have a two-story house, what they call it, up and down, two bedrooms upstairs, but they're small. I mean, small. You know, uh, in the States, everybody builds a house. They build everything's big. You got to have a big bedrooms and big living room, big kitchens, and everything like that. Everything here is smaller, smaller. Uh, I probably broke my toe twice or three times going up the steps from downstairs. And the difference there is the stairs. Stairs are made shorter, and so you're just not used to it. Your feet are overhanging. Well, yesterday we had to go into San Roque to go. Lynn goes to church over there, so I go with her once in a while, or her daughter does. But I went yesterday, and I've ridden on the back of trikes on the back of the motorbike part because Lynn and a friend of hers goes with us. Well, they do the church thing together, so I sit on the back of the bike because I'm the big guy. And this is the first time it's happened in 16 months. But the road we were on was very narrow, And here comes we're going this way, other cars and trikes and whatever else coming this way. And I mean, we were right next to each other. So I'm sitting side, and when you sit on the back of the motorbike part of the trike, you're sitting sideways and your feet are sticking out. They do have things to set your feet on and hold on to and stuff because they're used to people having to sit on the back. But we were so close to the other vehicles that I think it was one of the first other trikes that came by. He was looked like he was fully loaded. Had two people sitting behind him, and so when they came by, we were so close we hit feet. Our feet hit each other. Now I don't know if that's ever happened to anybody else, but I was like, holy shit! I picked up, So I mean, cars were coming so close to us. The road was so narrow, and then he turned off that road to take a shortcut to where he had to take us to, and he turned down this little alley, and the cement blocks where the lights, the poles and stuff in. He was so close to those, and then here comes a kid riding a bicycle, and I could feel the bike right by my feet, and so that's the first time that has happened that has been that close. I mean, I ride a trike here in the villages and stuff. It's not like that, but that road was so narrow. I think it was so narrow because there were so many cars parked on it. So we were out in towards the middle of the road. They were in the middle of the road, and of course here trike drivers don't want to give way. They just go. And so if there's another trike coming, they don't want to give way. They just go. And like I said, we were so close to each other, we hit feet, and it scared the crap out of me. I was like, man, I don't need a broken foot or anything like that. So after that, I mean, we were every road we were on, it seemed really narrow. I don't know if he was just taking the back ways or what, but I was just lifting my feet and trying to move them back as far as I could without shoving my feet in the back tire of the motorbike. But that, you know, another adjustment, right? Uh, but everything is good. It's adjustment that it's not something that you get mad about. You just get frustrated trying to understand it so you can work with the change. I guess is the way to say it is work with the change. I came here. The country doesn't change for me. I need to change if I'm going to stay in this country. So it's it's a change, and there's a lot of other things. It's like buying clothes. What size do you wear if you're a big man? Even just my size, I'm not that big. I'm only like 5'10" and a half, 5'11", and 225. But just to buy underwear, when I bought underwear, I bought double extra large, and they were tight. So the changes you have to make when you get here, you just have to adjust, and you have to work with it and be patient with it. And you know, I like being here, so I'm not somebody one of these other guys that have to run around and complain about the Philippines. Philippines didn't come to me. I came to the Philippines. So for me to adjust, that's the way it should be. It's like the language barrier. Um, I don't blame anybody if they don't understand me because I speak English and they don't speak English too well. Some people don't understand it too well, or they don't understand the way I talk. Uh, that's not their fault. That's my fault. I should go out and learn the language. I'm not very good at that. I don't have the greatest memory in the world, so it's very difficult for something for me to do on that. Um, but changes are other changes. Just like I said, uh, we walk out our front door, and maybe you take one step, and you're in the street. One step out the front gate, I should say, and you're in the street. Right there's the traffic. But we're just on a side street, but still we get a lot of traffic on our side street because people cut through on our street to go over to another village. But um, which is kind of weird. I mean, and most of the houses where we live don't have yards or anything. The dogs have to be kept up in a pen, or they keep them up in the gated area and stuff like that, which must be very difficult. We have a cat. We don't have a dog. We have an inside cat, and she deals with it every day to be inside. she she always wants to go out, but it's I don't want to let her out. I want her to be an indoor cat. And so far, it's a 50-50. She wins sometimes, sometimes I win. But I let her out into the store and stuff, and that's about as far as she goes. Other changes, you know, maybe just traveling too. I don't know. The traffic here is a lot different. Wow, because I drove for a living in the United States, all over the United States. I've been to every state. I've been to all over 48 states. Uh, and traffic is traffic. But here, it can be a tight game because like here in the villages anyway, we don't have any traffic lights, no stop signs, no yield signs. It's just you come out to the traffic and you just try and jump in it with the flow of the traffic. And yeah, since I've been here, I know of a couple accidents. I know one for sure. I was thinking there was two, but I know one for sure where two motorcycles collided. Excuse me. Two motorcycles collided, and I think one of the guys died. Um, some guys, even through the village here, just get going way too fast. In my opinion, way too fast. And they just turn out in traffic, or they turn off out of traffic into a driveway or wherever they're turning into another village, uh, or coming out of the village. I've sat and watched these guys when I'm bored, even coming out of the gates. They don't even look to their left. They just come right out because they expect everybody else to stop to get out into traffic. Whereas where I'm from in the States, if you come right out, somebody's going to hit you just to hit you, because that's the way it is, right? You don't just pull out in front of somebody because they're going to get mad, and you're going to have a fight on your hands or something's going to happen. But here, that's just the way it is. So you got to get adjusted to it. It's a change you got to make, and it's you can't get mad about it. You're the one that came here, so don't get mad about it. Just you have to learn to adjust to it. I prefer not to drive in it if I don't have to. We had an e-bike for a while, and I drove that. It was great for the village. Right, driving an e-bike here in the villages is great because we can get around, get over to the grocery store, stuff like that. We sold the e-bike. I was thinking about buying a 125 motorbike, but it's been many moons. Probably, I think the last time I drove a motorcycle was probably like 32 years old, something like that. So it's been 30 years. But this would be an automatic and stuff that we could use, and we could use that. The problem with the e-bike is the villages is fine, and you can go farther out, but it goes so slow. And then you trying to get up the hills, it even gets slower, and you got buses and trucks and everybody else on the road. I just didn't care for it. I know some people around here that drive them out. I don't. Plus, there's a lot of cities around here now that have banned e-bikes because of that problem. There's You don't need a driver's license or anything like that. So, especially around here, I see a lot of uh, families. They have their kids drive the e-bike to wherever they got to go. I mean, you're talking kids like 12 years old kids. So if they get out there, they don't understand all that, the traffic and stuff like that. So it's very difficult. But I mean, if we want to go to Cavite, see your aunt, and we want to go into San Pedro, if we got a 125 motorbike, we could get there and back. Not too bad a time, but I wouldn't drive like they do here. I mean, the motorcycles here, if you've never been here, is just crazy. I mean, it's like, well, to me, I guess it's like California, because California is the only state I know of that you can pass in between cars on the freeways and everything like that. You can go in between cars if they're stopped in traffic and you drive right up in the middle. As far as I know, it's legal in California, and that's the way they do it here. They just go around. They'll pass you on the left or the right. Wherever it's open, even buses. I saw a guy getting off the bus. I think it was yesterday when we were going out to San Roque. bus had stopped and he's coming down the stairs. As he's coming down, a motorbike went right by the door that he's coming out. That's a little crazy for me. But yeah, there's a lot of adjustments, a lot of changes that I think we have to make, probably from any country you come from when you come here to the Philippines. Um, my thing is, like I said, you're the one that came here. Don't get mad at the Philippines because they're like this or they're like that. Get mad at yourself because you're not willing to calm down, relax, be patient. Because that's all it takes. Be patient. Be patient. If you can't drive yet, can't drive here yet, then just one thing, a lot of people commute here on buses and jeepneys and trikes, of course, too, and stuff. But the buses here are pretty good. Pretty good. I have never had a problem with the bus other than they overload it. Uh, they'll sit there and there's room for 4 people, and they'll shove 5 people in it on that bench seat. So. But other than that, it's not bad. Sorry, got something flying around in here. So yeah, so changes. Be patient. If you've been here and you get upset, don't get upset. You're the one that came here. The Philippines doesn't have to change for you. You need to change for the Philippines. And if you haven't been here yet, put on your patience outfit when you come over here and just relax. Just just relax and go, this is nuts. Because there is a lot of things that are crazy. And when you try to get things done, paperwork and stuff, from what I hear with everybody, that has to do either they're staying because of marriage, 13As and stuff like that. It takes a while to get the paperwork done. It takes a while for everything to go through to get to where it's got to go. Uh, Immigration offices, I've been to some where you have to wait and wait. I've been to a couple where I'm in and out in 10 minutes. So, like I said, even going to immigration, have your patience outfit on, just relax. Remind yourself that you're the one that came here. The Philippines did not come to you. Anyway, I appreciate it. And like I said, I'm just still getting used to this EV Mux, and I like it so far. I just have to get used to it. I'm not the smartest guy in the book. Thanks everybody for stopping by. Y'all have a great day, great night. We'll see you next time on Lenny Scott in the Philippines.